What's up, savages? I think I'm going to buy a bear trap and start putting it around the outside of my apartment just in case my neighbors decide to want to knock on my door and hang out all night. Okay, one of the guys is cool, but the other girls, they're all just white trash idiots. Like, I hate them more than anything in the world. And they always do those conversations like, oh yeah, so like you guys want to like hang out? And it's like, no, we don't. But how do you say that to someone? How do you say, I don't like you as a person to a person who you see every day? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gani's Thoughts, brought to you by My Nutrition. I'm Gani, and today I'm going to be doing a brief history lesson, and by brief, it's probably going to be a long video, of Optic Halo. Yeah, now if you don't know who Optic Halo is, I'm going to run you through it. If you don't know what the team is, Optic has a Halo team. Pretty self-explanatory, Scott. Thanks, bud. Anyways, savage. Moving forward. Starting off, first addition to the brand new Optic Halo team is going to be I Got Your Pistola, and look at that O face. Yeah, that's the one he was playing for $200,000. Yeah, he walked away with $70,000 though, so it's not that big of a deal or anything. So, Pistola. Pistola was a player who really got his start playing free-for-all, right? Like, he was very, very young. He was like 13. He looked like the kid from Little Giants. Like, it was adorable. But he eventually grew and grew and grew as a player, and it really only took a year, 2 years for him to grow into this amazing competitive 4v4 player. And at that point right there, in 2009, from that point on, you can easily say that Pistola is the best player to touch Halo. Like, not overall because it's Ogre 2, but from 2009 on, Pistola was the best player, arguably, throughout the rest of the Halos. Sure, you can throw Roy in the mix as well. Roy was definitely another one of those players who was just like, what the hell? Why are you so good? Like, you are very, very good. So, those two players from 2009 on were just godlike. But, you know, Pistola, he is just a beast. Like, he processes the game a lot different than everyone else. So I one day sat down with him, and me and Pistola are great friends, or used to be, just because, you know, we used to hang out all the time. We had like our little group, and by a little group I mean we actually had a pretty big group in Halo, but it's not the point. So I asked him, and I said, Pistola, you know, everyone knows like you're very, very intelligent in regards of like picking a battle and not picking a battle and staying alive. Like, what the hell goes through your mind? And he goes, when I look at a person, in a split second, I decide if I should fight this battle, if I will be able to win this battle, if the probability is like in my favor, or if I should run. Now, I was a competitive Halo player. Everyone else is competitive Halo players. We see someone, for the most part, if we're not weak, or if we think we have an advantage, or not even that, if it's like an even playing field, this guy right here. I'm challenging the fuck out of that guy. And not even challenging, I am starting this fight. Pistola basically said, you know, there's times where if he doesn't feel like he has an advantage, he just gets out of dodge, which, I don't know how you do that, but whatever. And on top of that, it's funny because it ended up coming back to bite him in the ass in the Global Championships in the final 1v1 when he shot Ace up in the air with the concussion rifle, and then he missed the shot. So, you live and die by it. So, Pistola, though, if for just wrapping this player up, and I don't want to even do him a disservice, but he's fucking amazing. At the end of Halo 4, and basically for every Halo that he ever is going to play, he is going to be in the top 2, period. There's no questions asked. He is that fucking good. He's always going to be in the top 2. He can snipe. He can shoot. He's the biggest nuisance to play against. He's impossible to kill. And he always has fun. Like, it's a weird thing to put in there, but like, unless he loses to someone he hates, like, he's always gonna have fun. He's a really, really good kid. So now, next player. We're taking a look at the Global Championship winner here in Aaron Elam, aka Ace. Now, Ace, he's a kind of like Crim 6 where, you know, he just won $200,000 and he doesn't really give a shit about smiling. Me, I'd be sitting there like pointing to the 200,000, flicking off the reporters, you know, normal shit. Now, the story of Ace is a little bit different. So Ace was a player who really started I think it was 2006, might have been 07, but he had an older brother named Elamite who was basically on a very, very good team back then, and then me and him would play against each other, and then Ace was always in his brother's shadow. Well, that started to change. So as the years progressed, really the final year of Halo 3, Halo Reach, and Halo 4, Ace started passing his brother, like just whoosh, skyrocketing over him and casting his own shadow on Kyle. And Kyle didn't care. Why would Kyle care? He's just happy that the Elam name is still bringing home golds and money and championships. Like, that's more important to him than having some stupid rivalry with his brother. Obviously, I think it's just a crock of shit, but, like, obviously, you know, come on. You don't want to lose to your little brother. I don't have a little brother. I am the little brother, and I know anytime I beat my brother in something, he fucking hates it. Like, it's just buried in his head. It's brother competition. That's not the point. So Ace starts casting the shadow on his brother. They end up teaming in Halo Reach in the 2012 event, which we all know is the final one. They get 5th, 6th, and then Kyle basically dips out, and then Ace kind of does whatever he wants. Ace then picks up Halo 4 a little bit here and there. He sees almost immediate success with it, getting like top 4s, top 3s. I think it was like an AGL, one of the AGLs he took 2nd place in. And then next thing you know, Halo Global Championship was announced. The Halo Global Championship was a free-for-all, right? No one in their right fucking mind would have picked Ace to be the best free-for-all player, or to make it out of that and win the entire thing. No one. Not even fucking Ace. In fact, in the interview, after, like, when he made it into the 1v1, so basically there was 250 people. You had to either qualify online or with an invitation. He made it all the way up there, and it's top 4 advance, and you just keep going and going and going and going. When he got into the 1v1 stage, they asked him, like, oh, how did you practice for this? And he goes, I didn't. And he was like, I didn't really play many free-for-alls. I just kept playing 4v4 because I think it's a better game type, which it is, but, like, what the fuck, right? Like, that's fucking wild, dude. Like, talk about just coming in and slapping competition. Like, he's just... So, Ace ends up winning the entire global championship, and it was one of the best 1v1 experiences of my entire life, and I've seen a lot of them, but that was fucking amazing. So Ace ended up winning that, right? And then everyone was kind of like, and then Halo 4 just died off. And then he tried to chase down Call of Duty, and he was on Primal and then Final Boss, so you all know how that worked out. The big thing with Ace here is, you know, even though, you know, everyone's going to be like, oh, well, obviously he has to be individually skilled. He won the free-for-all event. Yes, he is very individually skilled. The main problem Ace has is that he whines a lot. He is a huge complainer online, which I get, you know, it's hard to talk to, but Ace falls in the top 10 in Halo 4, no questions asked. Now, this is a story that you all are going to like, so hold on to your dick. As you guys read this, I'm going to take a sip of coffee. So good. Alright, Snipe Down. You guys know this name now if you're from Call of Duty. He's been around. He is... This is the only picture I really found of him, but this is what you need to know about Snipe Down. Snipe Down has the miraculous noob story, right? Now, he played Halo 2. He was never able to make it to an event, and he released a video like where he had 100 hit percentage, which was insane, and no one really gave it 2 thoughts, but, like, it's insane. So what happened was Halo 3 came out, and everyone's like, oh, I can't wait to see how Snipe Down does. He's finally going to be online, that online little piece of shit. He shows up, he gets top 8. His first event ever, he gets top 8. He gets picked up for the next event by a top team. He gets 2nd place. From that point on, for the rest of the 2008 season, he wins events. He wins events. His first year of competition, he wins the 2008 National Championship. The second year, he gets 5th, 6th. But that entire season, it was him and Triggers Down competing for first place. It was straight Ripin versus TD, just battling back and forth. Crazy shit, man. Like, no one ever does that. No one does that. Ever, 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 ever. Like, you hear about that shit. Well, now it couldn't work because of the MLG system, right? But that, which does suck. Wow, I didn't even think about that. Huh. That's... Whatever. Wow. Sorry, that's just like people like Snipedown would never fucking exist. Dude, that's nuts. Okay. Whatever. So Snipedown was notorious for being like hands down best sniper in 2008 and 2009. I believe he won the award. Amazing individual shot. Fast forward here, Halo Reach, he kind of dropped off a little bit. He came in hot and then kind of floated around like the top 8. Didn't get too much main stage time, which means I couldn't cast all his matches. And there's no spectator mode in Halo. Still isn't. Now, Halo 4. Halo 4, Snipedown was on the best team, period. It was him, Richie Hines, APG, and Formal at the beginning. They won the, They won the second event. They won basically every single event. After, like, AGL 3, they drop APG and they pick up Pistola. And then they win every single event minus the last Halo 4 event up till this next one, which is going to be RTX. And, right there, they lose. They get fucking 4th, and there's never an event again. They got 4th. They lost to Ninja's team, and they lost to Naded's team. And everyone was like, what the shit? That was because of the Richie Hines breakdown. But it's life, and shit happens. So Snipedown is definitely one of those players you want to watch. Now, last but certainly not least, I give you a guy who looks like he would be attacked by SEAL Team 6, Flamesword. Now, to be honest, I have no idea when Flamesword started. I have not the slightest clue. It could have been Halo 2. I know for sure it was Halo 3. I don't know. We're going to assume it's Halo 3. So Halo 3 came out, and he was on a team called Status Quo. He ended up teaming with Ace down the road, and I think from like 2009 forward, him and Ace they were always on a team. They had the set team for basically 2 years. It was him, Ace, Assault, and Enable. And they grinded out. They get sponsored by Red Bull. Doesn't matter. We're bringing it back. Flamesword started off on Triggers Down, and this is kind of like his story, right? Status Quo, excuse me. They were kind of known as the basement kids. Now, they had a guy named Tots on their team, and Tots had this like really nice house, and his dad loved Halo 3. He loved it. So he would invite teams over there, and they would compete in their own in like the basement, and they would LAN. So Status Quo was always known for doing very, very well on LAN, like in the basement. But when it came to an event, they fell a little bit short, right? Like every single time. So Status Quo became the team who always got 4th place. Never any higher, never any lower. Until the 2010 National Championship, which they came out and they took 2nd place, which everyone kind of was like, what the shit? Everyone was expecting like an Instinct versus Final Boss finals, but Status Quo had plans up their sleeve. They ended up putting up a decent fight versus Final Boss, and then going into the next year, everyone was like, what the hell happened with Status Quo? Flamesword established himself as one of the best in-game communicators, out-of-game communicators, strategist, and objective players, period. He was a lot like TP, right? But, like, imagine TP with insanely godlike communication. I would say, throughout the history of players, I would put probably Ogre 2's communication in there, Flamesword's in there, Formal's in there. In regards to Halo, I mean, these guys were the top of communication. Oh, and Lunchbox. Like, those guys just understood communication better than every single person. When they talk, it's like they never shut the fuck up. Like, you listen to them play, and you're like, why the fuck won't you shut up? I don't understand. So, Flamesword is a very elite player. Flamesword... So then, Halo Reach came out. I forget where they placed in 2011, but in 2012, Flamesword and Enable make a ballsy play. 7 days before the event, they drop Ace and Enable, or Ace and Assault, and they pick up Royal 2 and Snakebite, and they win the event. 7 days of fucking practice. They win the goddamn event. And everyone was like, what the shit? Flamesword went like 5-27 in a King of the Hill game, and somehow managed to have his team win. Right? Like, these are the things, right? But, like, Flamesword was never known for his individual skills. Sure, he can shoot with the best of them, but he's known for objective work and his fucking communication. That's exactly what he's going to bring to this team. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, there's your fucking history lesson. I love talking about the past. It's so much fun. Can't wait to have it back. Anyways, other than that, I love you, but I don't love you. Take it easy. Whew. God. That's called a history lesson, boys.